Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, this is just about the hack that happened yesterday at 9 p.m. The Nomad hack with the bridge. This isn't about SafeMoon. Seems like a hack is happening every week. There's some new huge, massive hack or, depegging happening where people lose tons of money in crypto. So I'm just going to go over that a little bit with you guys.
So the value of cryptocurrency has been dropping dramatically.
That's right. The market has lost 70% of its profits in the past 8 months. Despite that, some crypto companies are trying to hold out hope.
During the NBA Finals, less than 24 hours before it announced it was laying off roughly 18% of its workforce.
CBS News tech reporter Dan Patterson joins us now for more on this. Hi there, Dan. So that commercial we just saw played into and tried to counter this joke that crypto is dead. But how much truth is there to that? Is crypto dying?
Well, Elaine, it's good to see you. This is less about death and all about confidence, or the lack of confidence. As interest rates rise, investors, both retail, that's you and me, normal everyday people, and institutional investors are fleeing cryptocurrency. Why? Because of liquidity. There just is not enough cash in the coins.
The appeal of cryptocurrency was supposed to be that it wasn't that it was safe, that it was a place to put your money and let it grow outside of market forces. Now, though, there is a sense that even fraud in the industry is a real and pervasive issue. What's happening there?
Well, those are all myths. Anybody who said that this was a safe store of value is perpetuating disinformation. It has never been a safe investment. It has always been a risky place to put your cash. And why? Well, one of those reasons is volatility. Volatility comes with a lot of scams. Look, there is just a ton of people who are doing all sorts of funny business with coins. But I'm kind of choosing my words wisely here because of the terms. There's a lot of jargon. One jargon term that you should know and be aware of is called wash trading. Now, if you have an app like Coinbase, this is an exchange where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency, you might have some confidence if you look at a coin and you see, oh, there's a high volume of trades. There's a lot of people who are invested or interested in a coin. That must make it safe. There's a lot of what we call social proof. Other people are interested in this. Not true. There is wash trading. Again, this is jargon, and I'm trying to use my words carefully, but wash trading is very rampant in cryptocurrency because there is pseudo-anonymity, meaning it's really easy to hide behind these anonymous wallet addresses. So the same people will send a coin back and forth, making it look as though there's a high volume of trades when it's only a few actors sending currency back and forth. That's just one example, but the entire industry is just loaded with scams like this.
It sounds like basically perception is one thing, but then when you kind of peek behind the curtain, the reality is something else entirely. So you interviewed actor Ben McKenzie about the crypto industry. It's interesting because he has a degree in economics, is currently co-writing a book about crypto, but he laid out for you a bit about why he's so skeptical about crypto. Let's listen to some of that.
We're coming across horror stories of people who have lost their life savings, people who are considering suicide or have committed suicide. They've lost family members. This is the pernicious part about things that, to my mind, resemble Ponzi schemes and multi-level marketing schemes, is that there are real consequences for these games. My guess is the scale of this is certainly millions of people. in the United States alone, potentially tens of millions of people.
So Dan, I mean, give us a sense here, because people hear cryptocurrency. Some people may wonder, am I missing something? Am I, one of those people that's going to be left behind if I don't go ahead and jump on this cryptocurrency bandwagon? Why do you think people should be skeptical of cryptocurrency?
Well, opacity, Elaine. It is a lack of regulation and a lack of your ability, my ability, to see into the actual behavior. Again, we look at wash trading as just one example, but the entire industry has so many different scams that it's very easy for us to feel FOMO. We can feel as though we're missing out on a great opportunity. Now, that's a feeling all of us can relate to, but when it comes to the economics that people, look, it's hard times out there. A lot of people are suffering, and they're looking to cryptocurrency as one way to perhaps improve their economic situation. When they fall for scams like this, it can wipe them out.
And people at this moment are particularly vulnerable, in this
right.
sort of pandemic psyche that collectively we've all been experiencing. Dan Patterson, Dan, thank you so much for helping us.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I was just looking at just going to look at some news, crypto news with you guys going on with different projects. There's there's a big sell-off in Squid Grow, but they are managed to recover decently well, already back to the 3.5. Reflex Finance also had some really big sell-offs, and obviously there was this bridge that got hacked, and it was like about $200 million that happened within the hack. And I'm just going to hang out with you guys and look at some of that, get your guys' opinions on that stuff. That's actually one thing that Squid Grow is going to be looking at, is doing a bridge to ETH. And I guess bridges are just very dangerous things. He's not wrong on this one. Yeah, I don't know. As far as I think they just want to, regulate it so they can control it. And it is, to me, crypto's a great opportunity, and it is this way for people around the world to, have a currency that they can easily trade. But there is a ton of Ponzi schemes in it. But within those Ponzi schemes is the ability to make money, and I think a lot of people understand that when they go to buy a crypto investment. Not necessarily whenever you're holding your money in a stable coin that you trusted, maybe that had an APY, and then it depegs and people lose tons of money. And like that guy said, they end up killing themselves, which is crazy stuff going on in crypto lately. And a lot of those hacks seem to be coming from North Korea. Just hackers sitting around trying to find exploits and then stealing millions. So as a service, Nomad suffered a chaotic attack on Monday into Tuesday morning, with hackers draining almost $200 million in digital funds from the company within a few hours. In a tweet Tuesday morning, Nomad said it is working around the clock to address the situation and have notified law enforcement and retained leading firms for blockchain intelligence for forensics. It added that it is a global goal is to identify the accounts that siphons cryptocurrencies from its service and recover the money. Nomad operates a so-called blockchain bridge, which allows people to move tokens from one blockchain to another, solving the challenge from interoperability between different types of cryptocurrencies. That's a big buzzword for SafeMoon, right? But these technologically complex services have been prone to attacks, with hackers exploiting security vulnerabilities to steal more than $1 billion in assets so far in 2022 alone. One security researcher on Twitter described the Nomad attacks as chaotic and a free-for-all, with people swarming to drain the accounts after realizing the security flaw meant that if they could find a valid transaction request, they could replace the other person's address with their own and effectively redirect assets to their own accounts. That's the thing about smart contracts and stuff like that. There's this fear that there's this exploit that just didn't get caught within the audits and stuff. Nomad blamed impersonators posing as Nomad and providing fraudulent addresses to collect funds. The theft follows the hack of blockchain bridge Harmony in June, which lost about $100 million in the attack. These bridges are seen as especially vulnerable to hacks, partly because of their relative newness and inevitable bugs, and are therefore frequently targeted by cyber criminals. Recent hacks include the $320 million wormhole hack in February and more than $600 million Ronin network hack in March. Bridges are also susceptible to theft because they hold a lot of cryptocurrencies, making them targets for hackers, and due to their lack of decentralization and oversight, according to Elliptic, some bridges don't require many signatures to approve a transaction, and some services have sacrificed security as they develop quickly, the group added. No, I don't believe SafeMoon is affected. And then I found on Twitter, there's this guy, I don't know who he is, Sam CZ's son, had like a breakdown of how it happened. He said, Nomad just got drained for over $150 million in one of the most chaotic hacks that Web3 has ever seen. How exactly did this happen, and what was the root cause? So there's the chart right there, and it got drained. He said it all started when @Officer CIA shared Spreakway's tweet in the ETH security Telegram channel. Although I had no idea what was going on at the time, just the sheer volume of assets leaving the bridge was clearly a bad sign. My first thought was that there was some misconfiguration for the token's decimals. After all, it seemed as though the bridge was running a send 0.01 wrapped Bitcoin, get 100 wrapped Bitcoin back promotion. Is that right there? However, after some painful manual digging on the Moonbeam network, I confirmed that while the Moonbeam transaction did bridge out 0.01 wrapped Bitcoin, somehow the Ethereum transaction bridged in 100 Bitcoin. So there's the 0.01. And then there's the 100, which I guess that means somehow they're able to pull $2 million worth of Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin. Furthermore, the transaction to bridge in the wrapped Bitcoin didn't actually prove anything. It simply called process directly. Suffice to say, being able to process a message without proving it first is extremely not good. At this point, there were two possibilities. Either the proof had been submitted separately in an earlier block, or there was something extremely wrong with the replica contract. However, there was absolutely no indication that anything had been proven recently. This left one possibility. There was a fatal flaw within the replica contract, but how? A quick look suggests that the message submitted must belong to an acceptable root, otherwise the check on line 185 would fail. It would be cool to get like DeFi Mark on here to explain this. Fortunately, there's an easy way to sanity check this assumption. I knew that the root of the message which had not been proven would be OXOO, because message hash would be uninitialized. All I had to do was check whether the contract would accept that as the root. As it turns out that during a routine upgrade, the Nomad team initialized the trusted root to be OXOO. To be clear, using zero values as initialization values is a common practice. Unfortunately, in this case, it had a tiny side effect of auto-proving every message. Oh, gosh. This is why the hack was so chaotic. You didn't need to know about Solidity or Merkle trees or anything like that. All you had to do was find a transaction that worked. Find/replace the other person's address with yours and then rebroadcast it. A routine upgrade marked the zero hash as a valid root, which had the effect of allowing messages to be spoofed on Nomad. Attackers abused this to copy-paste transactions and quickly drained the bridge in a frenzied free-for-all. Oh my god. That's brutal. Delicious food. Lag? I hope there's not lag. I pay for the best internet, so hopefully I'm not lagging. He actually has even more further information on this. He said, how did the wormhole crypto exploit work? I joined forces with the... Wait, is this the same one? No. I think he had another post on it. Maybe not. Okay, yeah, that's probably it on that. So hopefully none of you guys had were holding any of that and lost your money on that. I swear every day you hear about some massive hack happening and tons of people losing hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. So crypto is pretty risky. That's why if I ever make a decent amount of money, I'm scared to hold it in crypto. I'm scared to hold it in a stable coin. I'm like, you know what? I'll pay the government. I'll pay the taxes. As long as I can get it into my bank account and, you know, it feels safer in my bank account than it does on crypto because of that. Then yesterday, if you guys were with me, we talked about Squid Grow, and it appears that a massive whale sold last night, but then they actually recovered pretty well. Squid Grow also announced that they are doing... Basically, Squid Grow's promotion is pretty interesting. They're doing 3 tier 2 exchanges this week listings. So kind of a big part of Squid Grow, which is actually a really good conversation in my mind, because when most cryptos launch, you know, these new cryptos, is they try to convince you that what they're doing is going to be the next big, you know, thing. We're working with renewable energy, or, you know, we're going to have this amazing NFT line or marketplace, all these different things. And sometimes you may not need any like serious utility. You just might need something to catch on, right? And to be part of it, be part of that early thing. So I'm not saying that Squid Grow doesn't have utility, because they do say they have utility. But they said that they're basically aiming to be a top crypto by getting listed on like the highest exchanges. That's their goal, is to keep the pedal to the metal and keep listing as quickly as they can. So I'm bullish on it. I know a lot of people see it as risky. Other people see it as a scam. I have a lot of hope in it, that something big is going to happen with Squid Grow. But one of the things that they're looking at is a bridge to Ethereum, but they're waiting for ETH 2.0 to come out, which I think I read an article that said it's supposed to happen like next month or in a couple months. And then the bridge will happen, and that'll open up even more opportunities for listings with Squid Grow. But there was a big sell last night, and we're already right here. So for people that were looking for maybe a lower entry point, probably got that. Another big sell-off that has been happening recently was that Reflex Finance had a big sell-off. And they've been posting about it, actually, because they said that there's been a massive whale who's been tanking the price the past 2 to 3 days. Since Friday, I think, is the day that they said. I usually don't talk about Reflex, but I think it's kind of interesting that these big sell-offs are happening. So Ryan the Fudhound, who used to be SafeMoon Hound, you know, the Fudhound for SafeMoon, said that we are aware of one wallet in particular who has been offloading tokens on Reflex. From day one, I haven't sold one Reflex for your information. This particular holder has emptied their wallet, so they have fully exited their position. And Miles also posted on that. It's crazy the amount of power that somebody can have to just tank a project, especially those whales, right? The whales can just be like, I'm out, and boom, 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 and just take the price way down with them. You guys know that I usually use my other channel to talk about EverGrow, but there's pretty much 2 projects that I've covered, which was SafeMoon and EverGrow. SafeMoon, you guys know, we're basically in the waiting stage of their products, and then a bunch of drama and FUD came out, information regarding wallets and all kinds of stuff that a lot of the SafeMoon people don't want to talk about. I got banned, not banned, but I got blocked by the SafeMoon Twitter. So, you know, we've had a falling out with them, and it sucks, you know, because SafeMoon had so much hope to do something big, and I feel like they really wasted it and they used their community. But those that are left that still believe in SafeMoon are just hoping that the products that they're working on is going to take them to the level that they've always been hoping for. Meanwhile, I feel like we're in a similar boat with EverGrow as far as we're just in a waiting period of the products to come out as far as the NFT marketplace. Luna Sky, almost being done. If you check the website, it's like almost at 100%. And then we have Crater after that. And then we also have, potential for all the other things they had on their roadmap, like the exchange and stuff like that. But pretty much just in a waiting point for these projects. For me, I know I can trust Sam, and Sam is rich. So Sam has the qualities that I personally want in somebody who's in charge of a project that I am waiting for, a long-term project, right? Short-term as well, but the short-term part has kind of created that first part of the J. And if there's going to be a J curve with EverGrow, depending on their utilities, then that's dependent on Sam. And Sam is not your typical, person that creates a token, which kind of goes back to Squid Grow. But Sam is already very wealthy. He's already, I don't know how rich he is, but I know he has millions. And I know that he had like a multi-million-dollar house that he just sold, and that he has a Tesla, and that he's made a lot of money in investing in Tesla. And he's a financial advisor. He's like one of the top leading financial people on the British Council or something like that. So I definitely, once they get a good product, my hope is that Sam will know how to market that product and then be able to take EverGrow to these new heights by basically the profit from the utilities, whether it's the NFT marketplace or Crater, is going to be used for buyback and burn for EverGrow coin. So my trust in Sam is that he's already wealthy. His goal is not to become wealthy. His goal is to make a top 20 crypto is his goal for EverGrow coin. And to me, that's what you want in somebody, because if their just goal is to make money, they can just give themselves marketing. They can give themselves their own bags, sell off, and say, screw you guys, I got the money I want. So for me, personally, I have long-term hope in Sam, and there's definitely trust there. I know that Sam's going to put us first, and so just waiting to see how well that gets executed. But when it goes back to Squid Grow, based on the information that we have, which I don't know if you guys have looked into that too much, a lot of times if you just hear, Squid Grow, I'm not going to get into that because it has the word squid in it and the last one was a scam. And you don't necessarily look too far into it. But if you go into the Telegram, you'll see that you'll see that there's videos of him in his Ferrari. He just posted a video recently of him driving to the different Squid Grow signs. I think down in Texas is where it was, with his Ferrari and with his friend. But it also basically, he shows his account. He has a video where he opens up, logs into his MetaMask, and shows that I believe he has over $1 billion in crypto. So he's an extremely wealthy guy whose goal for this project that he's claiming is to make a project that doesn't rug pull people, because he and his other friends have been rug pulled, and it's like his way of giving back. So it kind of has the same feel, not to compare because they are different. Squid Grow and EverGrow are different, but apparently EverGrow, the person, Shibtoshi, was into EverGrow as well and likes EverGrow and was inspired by EverGrow, and that's kind of where the name came from, apparently, was, the Squid token and EverGrow. So when he finally decided to release his token, he did Squid Grow. And once again, it's kind of like this person who's spending their own money. He spent over $1 million in this project to try to get it to, his goal is to make it once again a top crypto through marketing, which in my mind, that's like a huge part of what makes cryptos do well, is not necessarily the most amazing utility, but just that the marketing gets it to take off, right? And you can make money in a pump and dump, you can make money in a rug pull, you can make money in all kinds of different ways as long as you are taking profits at the right time. And that's how we as investors have to approach all these different investments, is that we don't know what's going to happen. There's people that sold, Bitcoin, and they thought they made an amazing deal, and then it later come out to find that, there's like that one post of that guy who's like, man, I'm really glad I sold at 35 cents or something. And then somebody said, do you know where this guy's at now? And he's like, barely alive. He responded like, I'm barely alive, because he missed out on millions. So that's just the game that we're playing. And that's why even with this pretty big dump, I I'm pretty bullish on them, even though I know it's risky. So we'll have to see where that goes. But the goal is to make money. You shouldn't hope that anybody, is losing money. Of the Nomad hack, was that because of the lack of transition signing? That you're spreading repeated FUD about SafeMoon. Please stop it. SafeMoon is a long-term hold, and new company has issues to work out. Thomas, yeah, I'm not spreading FUD about SafeMoon. I'm just telling you the truth about SafeMoon. And if you think that's FUD, then you decide whether you think you want to listen to me or not. But it's just the truth. Everything we've said is the truth about SafeMoon, regarding those wallets, regarding the $2 million house that got bought, regarding SafeMoon Dev pulling from the liquidity, regarding the celebrities being paid from that liquidity. It's just regarding them making millions of dollars off of the Bitmart deal by selling our liquidity to exchanges, which I didn't bring this up, but you just challenged me on this. That's all fact. That's all on the blockchain. You can go look that up. And if you haven't looked that up, I would suggest go look it up before you say stop spreading FUD. Because if me talking about the truth is FUD, then it should be spoken. You know what I mean? I already covered all that in great detail, so I don't really feel like there's any. I mean, I could go further. If the SafeMoon army pissed me off, or the SafeMoon team pissed me off, I could go and make some other videos that I know John probably doesn't want me to make. I'm just kind of pulling my punches for a little bit, and if they don't deliver, or if they screw the SafeMoon army over again, then I might take some power swings at them again. And it's not to hurt them. It's to speak the truth. It's not intended to bring SafeMoon down. I worked very hard to try to help SafeMoon grow. I tried to make videos that you could share with your family. I tried to, get people to do the clicks. We did all kinds of things. We had the entire army behind SafeMoon. They had such a good army, and they've destroyed that trust through a lack of transparency and through encouraging of divisiveness between the army. Blindness is rewarded, and asking questions is, you get banned, you get blocked, you get kicked, even if you do it respectfully. And that's what's happened is that the team. And I even showed that clip of Josh, and you started this. I wasn't talking about SafeMoon, so just know that you didn't want me to talk about it by bringing this up. You got me talking about it. Josh literally said that, and this is Josh right here, right? John and then Josh right here. Josh said that I think we've pivoted, talking about the team, from what can we take to what can we give. And when you combine that statement with what they've taken, 19 million plus in Tether from our Bitmart deal. When you add everything together, and you start adding the stories of freedom of the unbanked and every turn to burn and the owls, you start to get a picture of us pouring our money into a guy who it may not even be that he has the worst intentions for SafeMoon. You know what I mean? I think that he just wasn't dealing with it in a good way. I think he was throwing ideas out there that sounded amazing. People were buying into those ideas. Those ideas weren't being delivered on. And on top of that, the LP was being sold, and he was making millions off of it. So that's just all true. You know what I mean? There's no lie to that. Really unfortunate, because I had so much hope for SafeMoon. I wanted to be a SafeMoon YouTuber, but I can't morally talk about them until that stuff gets addressed. I can't pump SafeMoon when they've consistently let us down over and over and over again by not releasing products that they promised, on top of taking care of themselves financially while letting their investors bleed and suffer. But it's we had John's back. We had the SafeMoon team's back the entire time. You had a massive army behind you, and they keep talking about how the SafeMoon army is the heart of what SafeMoon is, and the real product of SafeMoon is the community. Well, you guys have just destroyed that. And I'm not saying the current team has, not these guys, but the old team and John, and possibly the new team if they are complicit in a lot of the divisive behavior with the army, because we trusted John, we invested. And then when concerns got brought out by CoffeeZilla regarding the liquidity pool, We got zero answers to that. And it was like, this wasn't a small thing. This wasn't like John sits like a female, or what did Papa do, or what did Hank do, or what did anybody on the previous team do. This was, John, what did you do? Because this is the most concerning thing we've seen. And when you add the whole story of all of us investing in a wallet that didn't come out, there's a huge buy into the release of the wallet. It didn't come out, and then it dumped, and it wasn't until later that it arrived. And you add the exchange and the blockchain and Project Phoenix. Like, Project Phoenix died. What it was, the connections we had in the Gambia are gone regarding SafeMoon. John went down there in the 32 birthday month, and they're not going to tell you this because they don't want you to sell and give up hope. They're not going to tell you that Thomas was quitting. John said Thomas wasn't quitting, and you got me on a rant now, man. You got me on a rant by bringing this up. I told you Thomas was quitting. I told you he's done and pretending to be on the team. SafeMoon Army got mad at us. Anybody who said that. We told you the truth. John didn't tell you the truth. We said that Ryan was giving signs of quitting. John called that the dumbest FUD he had ever heard. Months later, Ryan quit, and then they had an argument over whether he fired him or whether he actually quit beforehand. So the dumbest FUD became a reality. Thomas wasn't effing leaving, left months later, and it's like, we're consistently telling you the truth. They're consistently not telling you the truth. And, John, he likes to say, like, I don't throw shade around, is what he says. Like, I'm not throwing shade. Like, he probably considers what I do because, they said, oh, we're paying attention to the fudders. Well, if Hayden or Josh or anybody's watching this, yeah, it's easy to not throw shade when you took $20 million. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be throwing shade either if I had $20 million from investors. I got everything I need. So it's like, you can't pretend like there's a moral high ground there for being called out for what you did. Because, yeah, we didn't take $20 million. So you can't throw shade at the Army or the YouTubers whenever that's the case. And if there's an explanation for this for the Army, which is your number one product, which is the heart of SafeMoon, which is what we are claiming to care so much about, we're not answering any of that. A serious problem. Like I said, it'd be like finding pictures of your girlfriend with another guy and then just not addressing that. The damage that comes from not addressing that, and not addressing that, all it really does is reinforce that you don't have a good answer for it. So a lot of us, all the YouTubers quit. I mean, think about it. All the YouTubers quit SafeMoon. We lost SafeMoon Joe. We lost Moonboy Crypto. We lost, and I don't want to say we lost Dark Moon Tim, but he barely posts anymore. He posts like one video in the last long time. You lost Generation Crypto. We lost SafeMoon Michael a long time ago. And you've lost me. I've become a fudder. I've gone to the dark side because you have to be morally blind to continue to cover SafeMoon in a positive light. And that kind of speaks to these new YouTubers, and I think a lot of people feel that way, is you have to be really into SafeMoon and I'm not meaning to judge people, because if you can be respectful, I don't care if you believe in SafeMoon, because like I said, it's an investment. But to pump SafeMoon right now in light of all that information that's come out, that's like, dang, man, that's a lot of information that's come out that you are ignoring in order to pump it. And there's a difference between pumping it and addressing that information and just pumping it and ignoring it. Like even Squid Grow, I had Ponzi basically tell me like he thinks this is a scam and that people are going to lose a lot of money and get screwed in this. And me and Ponzi usually, like, we're pretty cool with each other. We actually like each other and usually agree with each other. But my perspective is, if I show you everything I can, if I put it in a realistic light and let you decide for yourself, that's the most honest way I can bring an investment to your mind. And if I say, hey, I didn't say this is going to the moon. I said it might be what you think it is. It could be a scam. It could be a rug pull. I don't know. I can't guarantee that it's not. There's no way for me to do that. And I think it's dishonest to say that you can guarantee that a project is not going to pump and dump or not going to rug. I'm bullish on the project. I don't think it's going to rug. I don't think it's going to be a pump and dump, but I could be wrong, right? I'd be dishonest to say otherwise, though. And it's like, you can talk about any project. You could talk about the worst projects, but as long as you do it in an honest way and present it to people, that's one thing. You're still being honest about it, right? But as far as the newer SafeMoon YouTubers, I think that people crave some basically it's only the maxis that are left, right? The people that trust SafeMoon over everybody else that are listening to those YouTubers. And I don't mean to bring them down, but you're ignoring blockchain evidence. You're ignoring John's $2 million house. You're ignoring millions of Tether going. You're ignoring SafeMoon Dev pulling from the liquidity pool. Like, that's a lot of stuff to just say that's old foot and that it doesn't need to be talked about. So yeah, you started that rant, my dude. What's up, Crypto Moon Boy? Yeah, did you see the did you see Fonzie's post on that? It was pretty funny, actually. Because, like, he usually posts, like, blockchain stuff. Like, even right now, if you guys want to go look, you can go look at, he's posting stuff on Grove Token. He's posting stuff on Squid Grow. He's even looking at stuff on Squid Grow, talking about wallets that sold. And I need to, like, dig into that more. But, yeah, one of his posts recently was pretty funny. It was just, instead of being, like, blockchain evidence or anything, it was just, like, John sits like a girl. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. John Crony sits like a woman. That's one of his FUD points. And I don't care how you sit. It's just funny. You know what I mean? I think my stepdad sat like that too. And a lot of people will be like, why do you cross your leg over like that? You know, usually you're supposed to put your like ankle on your top of your knee, and that's considered a more manly way to sit. But it don't matter. But it is also kind of funny that the girl right next to him is sitting the exact same way. Not that matters at all. I get how stupid that is. Trust me. Hey, CC Halloween here. Keep the info going, man. People need to know both sides. Hey, Crypto Control. I created a guidebook on how to get about investing in cryptocurrencies, but I saw that you don't accept messages on. No, I am open to messages on Twitter. You should be able to message me, Eric. Can't trust a guy that sits like a female. Yeah. That's how you know that investment's going down, is when the guy sits like that. Man, I just sold all my SafeMoon and bought Squid Grow last night after holding SafeMoon since late March last year. We're gambling, man. I see. Actually, with Squid Grow, and this is the thing. Like, even if you thought this was a scam, you could play it safe. You could get in, wait for a 2x, pull out your initial. And that's what I did because I was worried. So I got in, I think around here, hit a 2x, and I didn't even pull out my initial. I only pulled out half because I still felt bullish on it, and I still feel bullish on it. And then I put in a couple thousand around here because I'm so bullish on it. And then when it tanked, I was like, no. But that's just part of the roller coaster, part of the ride. You know, anything that does end up mooning, and I'm not saying this will, but if it does, you have to go through these times. You have to go through the ups and the downs, and you have to hold it through that. That's why some people are super happy that they've pulled out of EverGrow. I mean, I had friends that pulled out of EverGrow in the early days. They were like, I made a 5K profit, a 10K profit. And then they later realized that they would have been sitting on a 50 to 100 to multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars at a different point, plus all the BUSD rewards they would have gotten for holding during that time, which, Squid Grow is not a passive income token. It's just all the tax goes to liquidity. But that's the thing, It's just and I think you have to present it that way. It's like nobody knows. No one knows if it's going to moon, if it's going to crash, unless you have some very evident blockchain evidence of very sketchy things going on behind the scenes, like the team sending tokens to a wallet and selling them off or something. Otherwise, you don't know if it's going to pump, if it's going to dump, and everybody's just gambling, right? Same, that's why I sold and went to Crow. Haha, Fonzie be channeling his inner Andrew Tate. Should you bought Drip, CC? Yeah, Crypto Moonboy, I haven't bought Drip yet, but I told you I would. I think to buy Drip, I have to use your code, which I would use yours because you've been so adamant about me getting Drip. I might throw 100 in that or something, but I haven't got that yet. And there seems to be some pretty sketchy stuff going on with Grove Token. Everything that people were so hyped. That's the thing, how it goes, is people get so hype about something while the price is going up. It gets so much momentum. And then when it dumps, people forget about it, except for the few loyal maxis. But Grove had this huge pump up. Everybody was super excited about it. And then it seemed like that one guy really started tanking the price that Fonzie's talking about. This guy, Balfasi, B-Alfalasi, is taking some major profits and posting stuff with like him being with gold coffee, 24K gold coffee. So I don't know. And then they were gonna have a sponsorship of the guy that Jake Paul was gonna fight, but then this guy like didn't meet weight. He was supposed to be at like 205 or something, and he was at 215. So they like called off the fight. So Grove was gonna have some type of like really big advertising, right? Because a lot of people are watching Jake Paul right now. I know a lot of people hate Jake Paul, but because he keeps beating people in these fights, you know, people say, oh, he's not fighting real boxers. I think this would have been the first real boxer that he would have fought, because the other people keep backing out of his fights, but he keeps winning his fights. I don't think he's lost a fight yet. NBA players will step up to him, and everybody hates Jake Paul, right? So everybody wants to see him lose, but because he keeps winning, you know, everybody's like hoping that somebody will step in there and beat him, because just a lot of people hate Jake Paul. And that would have been a huge thing for Grove Token, but then literally the fight got canceled like the next day, I think, after they announced this for Grove Token, it got canceled. So yeah, just lots of crazy stuff going on. Tried to send you a message, but it says you can't be messaged on Twitter. Okay, if you just want to tag me in a post, I'll message you. Crow is good, but something that actually has real utility that will keep the flame going in the economics part. I'm all in on Drip now, thanks to Crypto Atlas. Yeah, Crypto Atlas is a smart guy. I like all the YouTube guys. They're all pretty smart dudes. Oh, man. But that's where it's like, you know, you don't necessarily have to be in a project that has this amazing next, you know, innovative utility that's going to take you to the next level, right? You just have to be in on a project that has a huge run up, whether it's, you know, massive marketing or whatever it is. Like, that's the potential as an investor, is to get in on something that has a huge run up, and that you're a part of, that you're able to take profits on. So for me, yeah, Squid Grow is my play right now. If Squid Grow crashed, I would feel like crap right now. I'd be very depressed. But I'm actually supposed to be talking to Shiptoshi. I've been reaching out to him, trying to talk to him to alleviate a lot of the concerns regarding the fact that he's not doxxed, which apparently Bitmart does a very extensive KYC, is what one of his best friends was telling me, because I talked to Shiptoshi's best friend, and he was telling me, like, yeah, in order to KYC for Bitmart, you have to do a very extensive KYC with them. It's not just sending your license, is what he was saying. So not sure how much weight there is to that. But yeah, he said he would talk to me, and I can ask him some of the really tough questions, some of the questions that Ponzi's looking at as far as certain wallets skimming BNB, apparently, whenever it's removing liquidity, because they can remove the liquidity. The contract is not renounced. So they have the ability to change things to a certain degree, and I think they have the ability to even pull the LP. So it's just not the best selling point that you'd have a team that is not fully doxxed that can pull the liquidity, right? That's just not the greatest selling point. But what if that team is trustworthy and they just don't want to be doxxed? Then you're just gambling. So, you know, I'm gambling on that, and I know a guy that I trust that basically vouches for Shiptoshi. On top of that, if you're looking into this, I would go to Telegram and look at the videos of Shiptoshi, of him showing off his wallets that hold millions of dollars, of him showing off his car. So definitely things worth looking into. Just not the tokenomics, Ponzi-nomics. Pub key of account does not match pub key of signature code 400 Trust Wallet when swapping BNB for Smart Chain. Just did a tweet with my name tag. All right, after I finish this stream, I'll shoot you a message, man. SafeMoon Whale? What about SafeMoon Whale? So yeah, I kind of you just never know, you know. Does that mean that like some kind of BNB hack could happen and we could all, you know, lose our money that's tied to BNB? You know, that happened with the Bitmart hack. People that had their SafeMoon on Bitmart, they never got paid back, right, guys? Like, the people that held their SafeMoon on Bitmart, according to that hack, never got paid back, I don't think. So it's kind of scary to just be in crypto and be like, well, a hack could happen at some point, and we just never know that some exploit or line of code might be found that allows hackers to get in there and drain everything. Hippo, you're right. I'll give you that. And I do own Crow. It's steady. Never seen that error in my Trust wallet. Which error did you get, Evan? Yeah, I've never seen that either. So I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Mitch, thank you so much for the $2, man. I really appreciate that. What do you think about the 500% APY? That's the thing I don't know about. I've staked tokens before, but I've never staked LP, so I have no idea what that means or how that works. I think you have to deposit like the token and the BNB, right? Or maybe the cake is what it says. So actually, I've been meaning to look into that. So once I talk to Shiptoshi, and especially if I can alleviate some of these concerns as far as what it looks like in the name association and the trademark, and where it is that they're going, so that I can feel more bullish on it. Because the more confident I feel in something, the more willing I am to tell other people about it, because I want to help lead people into what I think is a good investment. I can't know that for sure, just like nobody can, or that person's rich. But I do my best to, if I'm bullish on something and I get that feeling, because I don't get that feeling very often. I'm not saying that feeling is right, but I've only had that feeling with EverGrow and with Squid Grow, and for different reasons, right? With EverGrow, it was the tokenomics, it was the BUSD rewards, it was the buyback and burn, it was the fact that volume, you got much more back and you're getting it in a stable coin, as opposed to reflections for SafeMoon. You were getting SafeMoon back and the price of your SafeMoon could go down. So it was like a safer, what felt like a more consistent, and the buyback, especially the buyback and burn, the fact that they can create green candles on the chart. And then EverGrow had its dump, and then basically Sam decided that the products were not good enough and that the products needed to be done better. And then the bear market happened. So then we were faced with a bear market on top of a new launching of products, and we're just in this waiting period, I think, right now with the bear market. You know, it's just that waiting period where people are working on their products. And as much as I am not happy with the information that came out with SafeMoon, I would prefer for the price to go up. I'm hoping for that still. I hope they do something. And I feel the same way about EverGrow. I'm hoping that it's just this waiting period and that the markets are going to go on another bull run, and that's when they're going to be launching and taking off, and those that held through your different assets or whatever it is you have are able to reap the benefits, you know, through the bear market into the bull market. The pub key error. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, Evan. CC, do you think SafeMoon moving forward will, if survive, and products be released? I honestly have no idea. I wish I knew, because they have the lawsuits. They have lost a lot of their army. They've lost a lot of people through the lack of transparency, the lack of answering questions, and the consistently not releasing products and not being upfront with the army about it. They didn't tell us that the Gambia was off with the government. They didn't really tell us that. We had to like put the pieces together through the captain's log of John saying, we'll be pursuing, while the Gambia will always hold a place in our heart, we'll be pursuing it through our own network. And it's opened our eyes to the fact that we can pursue what we're doing in other places. Well, what that happens was is he went down there on the SafeMoon 32 birthday month when we were waiting for big news. John's mom, who owns the Barra Jolly Group, says we are not associated or affiliated with any other companies, which obviously she's talking about her son's project, SafeMoon. So she legally separated her company, the Barra Jolly Group, which is probably her connection, or John's connection, to the Gambian government. So it seems like SafeMoon got cut off, possibly due to the CoffeeZilla video, I don't know, from the Gambian government, and not just the CoffeeZilla video, but what the information that it contained and the validity of it, from the Gambian government and from the Barra Jolly Group. So the connections that John had to the Gambia seem to be cut off, which was what SafeMoon's every turn is a burn and freedom of the unbanked and all these different things happen. So I don't know what the future holds. I do believe they're working on products. I just don't know if there's going to be any legal consequences of what has happened, and if there's not, then it'll be dependent on the products they put out. And if there is, it's like, will it be enough to destroy SafeMoon? And who's going to pay for the lawsuits? Or will John bail? I think, when you think about all the pressure that John was facing recently, and you look that it actually bothered him quite a lot. If you go watch that last 32 podcast, or if you watch that video that I made, where they talked a lot about the FUD, which, by the way, side note, they were supposed to have that 32 podcast out a long time ago. They said that Sketch was editing it like weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and that's something that takes a couple hours to edit. I edit videos, and the amount of editing, unless they're doing some insane next level editing for like movie, with tons of cuts and zooms and fades and all kinds of stuff, which I doubt they have. I think it's just cut to different parts of people talking. Why haven't they released that yet? It is kind of like, why have they not released that? But during that, John talks about how much the FUD that CoffeeZilla put out bothered him. Not just that Coffee put out, but that the SafeMoon army who believes it, who's convinced that information is real, and said, John, we want answers. So it put a lot of pressure on John. And there's this fear that, like, okay, is John going to disappear, right? Like, what do you guys think would happen to SafeMoon if John disappeared? Would it die, or would there just be like this small group of people left that believe in SafeMoon, or would people come back in hopes that John was the problem and that SafeMoon's in good hands now? That's why I personally said that, products or price movement, in my opinion, is the only thing that's going to make SafeMoon come back. If SafeMoon starts to have not just a kind of a little bit of a run up where we all freak out because it gained a tiny percentage of what it lost in the past month, but an actual run up in price, near all-time high or something, with the release of products, I think SafeMoon could have a huge comeback if it released some good products with a huge price run up, that so many people know about it. But there still would be a lot of fear around it. That's just my opinion, though. Everybody has their own opinions. A lot of people think it's dead. Some people think it's the next Tesla, which, I'm not going to say anything on that. These unbanked companies set us back to the same mistakes that were set back in 2008, so lost confidence in these companies that give out loans and such. SafeMoon hasn't even released their second video. Yeah, I know. I can edit it for them. Like, send it to me. I'll edit your guys' video and release it for you. They probably don't want to release it because they know I'll edit it and make another video of showing the context of what it is they're saying, which I know that might be like thinking I'm more important than I actually am, but I think that there's a possibility that they might be like, oh crap, they can take this out of context, or this sounds bad, so let's not release the 32 podcast. Maybe they're waiting to record another one to make sure that they don't say anything that can be taken out of context, or not even taken out of context, but that can just give away too much. Because the fact that they literally said, we've pivoted from what can we take to what can we give, I don't have to take that out of context. That just sounds terrible. Sounds like you guys were taking money, which verifies the accusations that John was taking from the liquidity pool and that SafeMoon Dev was. But now you're about what you can give after you've taken. Now you're like, so it could be that they're like, hey, we need to redo this last 32 podcast because crypto control is going to take everything we're saying and dissect it and put it in a video. Possibly. I know a lot of people like to treat me like, no, you're nothing, bro. Nobody even knows who you are. You have no power. I left and I'll never come back. I wish the people the best, except those that attacked us for trying to warn people, but I'm out. That's understandable, Hippo. I scanned the game, bought 400 million bag of Squid Grow, starting my CDA for 6 months or more, then hodl for 5 years, having a plan and sticking to it. Boom or bust. Yeah, man, that's how you got to invest, is like you have to be willing to lose that money. If you're not willing to lose that money and you're gambling, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Crypto Moonboy, what's up, man? Says the question is, why would you want SafeMoon to pump and come back? You believe John has learned his lesson and won't skim LP funds again, hoping a snake won't bite you twice as wild. SafeMoon to zero. Like, I get it, man. It makes sense. Here's my thing, Moonboy, is like, and this applies to any project, really. If the price goes up, it at least gives investors who believed in John a chance to pull their money out. or to take profits, right? So it's not that I want John necessarily to do well for the sake of John so that he can steal. It's like I want SafeMoon to do well with or without John for the sake of the investors. Yeah. I mean, that's my perspective on it, you know. John was asked on Discord if the blockchain will be released until 2023. His response was no. After that, no other responses on the blockchain. Really? He said it won't be released next year? Yeah, dude. I don't think things could look any worse for SafeMoon. Unless John like got thrown in jail. Like I'm kind of curious your guys' position on that. What do you guys think would happen if John left SafeMoon or if John went to jail? That's a fair point. I can agree. I mean, I totally get your point as well. You know, it's like trusting your girlfriend not to cheat on you again. You know, I always use that comparison. I think it's a good one. It's like, well, hopefully she doesn't cheat on me again. But it's not exactly that. It's like, hey, if the price goes up and you have a chance to take your profit back or to make some profit, that's the ideal situation for SafeMoon. I mean, ideally, I would love for it to the moon and for it to be like, I'd be okay with all the maxis going, oh, we told you so, you idiot fudders. I'd be like, you didn't. You were blind the whole time, but I'm glad we're here. You know what I mean? Feelings on Blockbuster Tech Token, the one with Don Bailey. Don Bailey. This is Don Bailey's token, right? Oh, Don Bailey follows me? That's interesting. I wonder why he follows me. Does he not know who I am? I'm Control Freak, the famous fudder of SafeMoon. I don't know. I know the there was something that was a little concerning about it. What was it, like 16% tax both ways? So it would be a 32% tax. Is there a website for the Blockbuster? Because I know it launches. Doesn't it launch like in a week or something? I don't know. Here it is right here. I actually haven't looked at this at all. I've just read a little bit about what I've seen on the Twitter. The tweeter. The courts find him guilty, but fortunately not for him. He's got everyone's money to get him out of prison. I don't know. How do you feel about BBTF token? Multi-ecosystem rewards infrastructure. You know, the interesting thing about this is like the YouTubers for talking about drip were outcasted mostly by SafeMoon After Dark, Chris Harris, as using the SafeMoon army. And a lot of the people in the SafeMoon army say, oh, you're going to use us. You're trying to use us to shill your crappy projects. And then they're okay with SafeMoon team doing that to them through the swap. Like, it's okay if the team does whatever the hell they want, but if anybody else does it, they get attacked. And then they end up doing the same thing. They end up pumping these other projects that they became a part of. It's like you're only allowed to do it through SafeMoon. You can't do it through yourself. Like even the SafeMoon 32 project, the NFT project, which I don't care what you're doing because people can choose to buy or sell. It's not like we're forcing people to buy something. 9% reflections of 8 reflective tokens on each buy. You know, kind of the interesting thing about this is TriFlex token. I don't know if you guys have looked at this. This is the only other token that I'm probably going to buy this year unless something comes along. So TriFlex token launches, I think, within a week. Pre-sale on the 7th, right? So 5 days on the pre-sale, and then it launches 2 days later on the 9th. It's got a CerTick audit, and they are dev partners with Solidity.io. So they have developers with Solidity that have been helping work on their contract. And And I think that what they're doing is very similar. I mean, I could be wrong. I have to wait and see when TriFlex comes out to compare. 6% reflections of 8 reflective tokens on each cell. Automated liquidity via 2% internal growth rewards protocol on each buy cell. 2% direct liquidity injections via the contract protocol. Oh, I remember what it was that I saw. It was the token distribution, and the team held like 31%, I think is what I saw. Liquidity pool 20%. Team tokens is 7%. Treasury is 14, and then future hires is 10. So yeah, 31% goes to the team. And I think other people are like, hey, that's like a third of the supply going to the team. But people were saying like, hey, they trust Don Bailey. I don't know. Hey, if you think you can make money off of it, I wish you the best. I know that Troy has always seemed like a really cool guy. I think he got mad at me one time because I didn't remember who he was. And it wasn't like anything personal. I just don't have a good memory, and there's a lot of people in this space. People probably know who he is more than they know who I am, you know? But I know a lot of people really trust Don Bailey, so... Leet? I know EverGrow's on here. So they got SafeMoon, Reflex Finance, MetaBUSD, Affinity, EverGrow, EverReflect, Bitburn, and Reflectocoin. That's funny they put Reflex on here. So what's the big selling point of this? Does somebody know? Do you guys know? Apparently you get reflections in 8 tokens that then also reflect EverGrow, SafeMoon, Affinity. 90% of cryptos are down. SafeMoon's not a scam. Oh my god. Okay, bro. What is your definition of scam? SafeMoon, my pot of gold. Do you buy on pre-sale? So I didn't get this one on pre-sale. TriFlex, I'm in the pre-sale. I'm whitelisted, but I have to fight for a spot. I have to fight to get my transaction to go through. And I don't use bots or any of that stuff. So, and usually because so many people are buying at once, you have to have your slippage set like super high in order to get a buy. I don't know about you guys, but I did a Vetter token, and when that launched, I felt bullish on that one, Vetter, and it ended up being like, yeah, one of my worst investments. I mean, it's down 25% of what my initial investment was, and that was a pre-sale. Or no, I bought it launch. Sorry, I bought it launch on Vetter. But I am late. What hack? Oh yeah, there was just that hack. I'm sure you heard about it the other day. It was the about $200 million hack from the bridge that for Nomad that happened, and they basically got in there and they found a way to approve transactions in 2 different wallets, so they're able to siphon about 200 million from a bridge. So bridges are pretty scary stuff. Mitch Bromwell, the $2 launching 3 rockets Thursday and landing 1 in NZ. That's insane, Mitch. You have such an exciting job. It'd be cool if you had like a YouTube or something, or I could follow you, see what you're up to. CC, what's your opinion on Reflex Finance? I mean, I personally hold like 60 something dollars worth of Reflex. Not much at all. And I'm a big EverGrow holder. I believe in Sam. I'm on Sam's side. If you're an EverGrow, we're part of the EverGrow army, right? So I see you as part of that family that I'm going to work for to help grow. You know, I feel like I helped EverGrow grow with my videos, with my YouTube channel, with my connections to people with SafeMoon. People say don't use SafeMoon's name to pump other projects because people get dumped on. Well, everybody who listened to me whenever I pumped EverGrow made money. And I have people reach out to me. Every time I do a space or something, there's always some new person that I haven't talked to that said, Crypto Control, thank you so much for telling me about EverGrow. It was life-changing money. So it was like, you know, I use SafeMoon's name to tell people about that project. But EverGrow, a bunch of people basically kind of got bought out from EverGrow, like the mods and people that were working for EverGrow, and they went and tried to create their own EverGrow. You know what I mean? It's like SafeMoon Piggy Bank. Well, this was like EverGrow Reflex. but not the devs. It was just like people within the moderators and stuff that I was friends with. So they went and created that, and then a lot of their YouTubers that EverGrow was helping build their channels started talking trash about EverGrow, even though Sam was like retweeting and getting them views and helping them. And Sam would even like offer them like, hey, here's a thank you for being so loyal to EverGrow. I just want to give you a thank you, not a paid promotion, nothing, no strings attached. Here's the thank you for helping with EverGrow. And a lot of those people started attacking. So there was a lot of heat between EverGrow and Reflex. And eventually I talked to Miles a little bit, and we, I'm not even on the EverGrow team. I'm just friends with them and I want to help them grow. But, me and Miles had a chat, and we were just kind of like, let's stop talking. I was just like, let's just stop talking to each other. If you can get your people to stop attacking our people, I'll do my best to try to encourage the EverGrow people to stop attacking Reflex. And we kind of had this ceasefire, I feel like. And then Ryan joined Reflex, and I like Ryan, and I actually trust Ryan. I think he was probably one of the better things to happen to SafeMoon. It was Ryan's the one that got the wallet out, right? And so now he's a part of Reflex. So I trust that Ryan will do what he is supposed to do, but that doesn't make me necessarily super confident that Reflex is going to be a good investment. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'm just personally, out of all that history that I've had with Reflex and, stuff that I knew about it in the past where it felt like way too many people had way too many tokens, I personally, my choice with Reflex as of right now is a pass. Although I do like Ryan, and I do believe in Ryan, so I'm not saying that he might not do something with it. But hey, you might make money on it. I don't know. You have to go research it for yourself. I'm just giving you my opinion because you asked for it. D-Libby, are you talking about the pre-sale for TriFlex? I'm with you. I bought Vetter too. Yeah, Vetter is down so much, man. And I could sell, or I could wait and hope that they do something. That's what I do with a lot of my investments. I'm just waiting and hoping. Yep, I'm an EverGrow too. Good stuff. Nice, James. Yeah, so I told everybody when I was going to sell, I was like, I'm going to sell right around the 3, and I took, I wasn't like a whale or anything, but I took, decent profits. Definitely not like a small amount. It was definitely like the biggest, probably one of the biggest amounts I'd ever have, but nothing like a whale or anything, I reinvested, a decent amount back into it, and it's gone down a lot since then. But I'm on EverGrow's side. I trust Sam, and I believe in Sam, and I'm going to do my best to help EverGrow grow when the time is right. But it's kind of just waiting for those utilities. I can't, if I'm pumping EverGrow right now, there's nothing really to pump other than we're waiting. We can trust Sam. We believe in Sam. Sam's rich. He has a huge background, everything that we already know. But we're waiting for the release of these products to see how well can the marketing and that, because it's basically dependent on an NFT marketplace doing well. And if the NFT marketplace does well, then it'll bring in all the profit from that NFT marketplace after they pay for the fees to run it and stuff. The cost of running it goes to buying and burning EverGrow or towards direct rewards, BUSD rewards to holders. Sam's going to do like a mix of both those things. And, with that comes the potential. If EverGrow starts to get that pump again, starts to see this J curve, all the exchanges that we get listed on, and if we continue to get listed on more exchanges, we'll be able to fuel that. And one thing that Sam does with exchange listings that I don't see other projects do is like, with our Bitmart listing for SafeMoon, and I hate to just keep crapping on SafeMoon, but when you just talk about what it is that they did, is they did 5% to reflections for Bitmart, 5% to liquidity. And what Sam did with DigiFinex was said, we're taking like, I forget what it was, like almost the entire percentage is going to go to buyback and burn. And we ended up the volume that they said on there wasn't from ours, but it was from their traders. So the volume wasn't nearly as high as what we thought it was. But with big exchange listings, with attacks, with tokenomics, we can take that and use it for buyback and burn. So Sam has dedicated himself to using profit for buying and burning EverGrow, and I know he'll do that, and I know he wants to be a top crypto. So it really does come down to how well can our products do and how well can our marketing do to get EverGrow's name out there. So for me, that's a very trustworthy play in the sense that I know 100% that EverGrow's not going to rug. I know Sam's not going to rug it. I know he's not going to pump and dump it. I know he's bought a ton, and I can trust him to have EverGrow's best interest in mind. And it just comes down to, which is nice because a lot of projects you don't even have that. But he's already proven that through using their own money to fund exchanges and their own money to fund all these different things. And he's proven himself as a very honest person who basically rewards those who are loyal to him. I mean, if you're loyal to EverGrow, YouTuber, whatever, he says, hey, thank you. This is no strings attached. I appreciate what you've done for EverGrow. Sam has your back. So if EverGrow takes off, Sam's got everybody's back who had his back the entire way, whether you're a holder or whether you're actually like trying to help marketing or get the name of EverGrow out. The TriFlex token, TriFlex is done by a guy named Jeremy, who is, I don't know if this matters to you guys as far as politics go, but he's conservative. So if you're conservative, you're probably going to lean towards trusting him more. And if you're not, then you're going to think, oh, what an idiot. So I met him, and I really trust Jeremy, and I really trust, they have a big YouTuber who is Mark Z, and he has a decent following. So they have a lot of power to do something with TriFlex. For me, it's still a gamble, but I'm willing to throw probably the last one I'll do this year, unless something really catches my attention, because I've gotten pump and dumped and rugged way too many times. That I at least know I can trust this one to not rug me. So yeah, TriFlex launches on the 9th, and the pre-sale's on the 7th. I don't know if you can still get any pre-sale spots, and even if you do get a pre-sale spot, you have to fight to get the B&B before it hits a cap, and the cap's like not that high. I think it's like 250,000 or something. I'm not 100% on that. So, but you can always reach out to them and say, hey, is there any spots left? But basically that spot will just be an opportunity to try to buy before other people fill up the cap for the pre-sale on a TriFlex token. Heard Ryan was only hired for 1 year. That's another thing with Reflex, is like, I don't know how long he'll be there. And he did put out one tweet that was a little concerning, talking about how he doesn't work for anybody. And it's the same thing that we saw with SafeMoon, where it was like almost this venting. Now, Ryan's always been like super cool, super trustworthy, but it's kind of like, what is his play with Reflex? Is he there to just get the products out and do the best thing he can do and then move on to the next project? Which, if you're in there because of Ryan and he left, then you'd be stuck with that as well. So let me see if I can find that tweet. And I really like Ryan. I trust Ryan, so I'm not trying to throw shade his way, but I'll never let that stop me from being honest about what it is that I can see. If he still has that post. I'll make one thing clear. I am a free agent, and I have no boss, period. So it's kind of like, this happened similarly to SafeMoon, where it was like him talking about the general and stuff, and it's like clarifying something to the people within the space. So it's like, it feels like Ryan is clarifying. Miles is not his boss. Nobody on Reflex is his boss, is what he's saying. The team has brought me on because they trust my ability and competency to GSD, get stuff done. That's what I do, and I have done the past 15 years. I'll make that clear for the record. And that kind of makes it feel like, I can't tell, and maybe Ryan clarifies this or can clarify this, because he'll respond to you if you have a question. And they kind of go a little further, say, we don't have bosses here, we have leaders. Even the leaders jump into the trenches and work alongside. But it does beg the question for those of you guys that are possibly in Reflex for the reason of Ryan being there, or if he's just a huge part of why you believe in Reflex, is he going to go his own way or move on to something else once he feels like he's finished his mission with Reflex, or is he with Reflex to stay? I don't know. You'd have to reach out to him and get that clarification yourself, because having no boss and that stuff kind of, that might make you lead to think those kind of thoughts. So, well, he's the CEO, so he should stick around. Got to control my YouTube just in case I'm covered in SafeMoon clothes. Oh, you have a YouTube. I mean, I could show it if you wanted.
Hey, this is Mitch Bromwell.
Oh, Mr. brought it up. Oh, Mitch, I didn't know you had a YouTube. It just is your YouTube. I'm an idiot. Okay. I didn't know I could bring up a link in chat like that. But now I don't know how to get out of it. That's funny. Okay, there we go. See you later, Art M. Have a good one, bro. I researched blockchains. It usually takes an average 2-3 weeks and can carry on to 4 to 6 weeks at most. SafeMoon has 1 year and 4 months. That's going to be some blockchain. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. So yeah, we've got Squid Grow. If you're willing to, take a gamble and you feel like it's, a lot of people feel like it's really risky. So Squid Grow for me is this risky potential for Moon that I'm hoping for. EverGrow is my safe long-term play, and TriFlex is the new one launching in a week. I'm not going to probably do the BBTF or whatever. Blockbuster, I'm probably not going to do that one. I hope it will. I hope you guys make money on it. I don't want anybody to not make money. My hope is not, I don't sit around hoping that people lose money so that I can go, oh, see, so told you so. I hope you make money, and I hope I make money. There's always got to be losers, though, right? And then SafeMoon's that one that I'm holding on to just in case, even though I'm very disappointed with SafeMoon. But I'm trying to decide, like, what I want to do with this channel, what should I cover, and I'm thinking about, like, trying to do what I do with this stream and branch out and cover broader topics and look at different stuff. But, especially if, like, a big hack happens, that's kind of the type of content that I cover, I wonder if there's anybody that's bullish on a Grove token after that huge dump, or if they've all pretty much given up on it. Come on, Squid Grow, you can do it. You can do it, buddy. We're not that far. For me, Squid Grow is I don't know if they have like a major utility lined up. They say they do, but they say they don't want to say anything about their utilities until they're ready, so that there's not this people buying on a promise that doesn't deliver if they run into issues. They just wait till it's done. They announce it, they launch it, and it's good. There's under promise, over deliver is what they say. Part of me leans towards thinking that marketing is probably a bigger deal for cryptocurrencies to do well than a product, right? So part of me feels like a big strategy of Squid Grow is for Shibtoshi to keep getting listed on exchanges, like top tier exchanges, and to keep getting on better and better listings on exchanges to keep that momentum going, that upward momentum, possibly combined with whatever utilities they have. So I'm like, if this catches on, then, even getting in at the all-time high right now will be worth it. So we'll see. I really hope it does well, but I just don't know the future. Mr. Mac, SMG. No, I didn't get do Grove. I wasn't feeling Grove. Just didn't catch my attention. I don't know why stuff on the SafeMoon swap doesn't really catch my attention, Squid Grow went up like 8x since last week. Imagine if it does that again from now to next week. Yeah, so like there's people that are going to be, taking their profits. I was actually looking at their holders today to see like, okay, who is holding how much. And I think 1 trillion tokens was like 30,000. So I think 1 trillion tokens at around the price we're at, I think it's gone up a little bit though. It was around $30,000. So that's not like an insane amount, right? 40 people with that. But as you go up, if you hit, we hit the 2 trillion, that's 60,000. So there's people that have 60,000. So if we see, a 2x from here, then anybody with 2 trillion plus is going to have, over $100,000. People are going to take their profits, but it's kind of how much do you believe it's going to go up versus how much do you think it's going to go down, or how much is, at what point do you say, holy crap, I have to take profits? You know what I mean? Or does somebody else sell? And you get worried about missing your opportunity to take your profits. So you see a big sell-off, Then you get to 5 trillion. So this guy with 5 trillion, if it's not a like, who knows what the wallet is? I don't know, but that 5 trillion would be 150,000. And then I think this 40 trillion right here was a million, but I'm not sure like what that is or if that's a holder or not. So yeah. So I reached out to Shibtoshi and I was like, hey, you know, I'd like to talk about the project, because if I can feel a lot more safer and bullish in a project realistically, then I'm more confident telling other people about it. So if he can alleviate some of those concerns to me, or even maybe like let me know like what the direction of it is, so I can be more bullish, so I can feel more confident in telling other people about it, then that'd be awesome. And I can start making, you know, my math videos on Squid Grow. And maybe even like kind of an interesting thing about Squid Grow is the 8% liquidity tax. It's like, how much does that 8% really help with liquidity? And I also need to look into it because I think they're doing swap and liquefy. I need to look at their threshold. When does it hit? When does it liquefy? What kind of downward price movement does it create? Because that's another thing that people don't understand with swap and liquefy is that, you know, it is part of the buys building up the token in order to sell half. But it's part of a tax that builds it up, then sells half, you know. So in order to get the pairing to go into the liquidity, if that's how they're doing it, which I'm pretty sure they have swap and liquefy. I just haven't looked at the thresholds or anything like that. But if I can talk to him and be more bullish on that, then I would love to not only be able to tell people about it, but like I said, to try to help it grow through showing the mathematical potentials of it, whether it's hitting a 10x or how to make $1 million, or whether it's, you know, the impact of the 8% tax, liquidity, swap and liquefy, and what kind of stability that can create within the price and the volatility. Or as well as looking at the staking options. You know, you got the 50% right now, and the staking APY has to change based on how much tokens they have. So they have to reassess this each time that they come down. So right now it's 50%. And once this date goes down, you got 16 days left. If you're staking this, then they reassess that. And I think the same with the, it's Squid Grow plus BNB. Okay, so you have to pair Squid Grow and BNB in order to pair liquidity. To stake liquidity. Imagine having gotten in Squid Grow like 3 weeks ago. I know, right? You'd be sitting on such a good bag right now if you got in. Never buy a token with squid in it. Anonymous devs, insane APY all around. It's like a recipe for disaster. Well, yeah, man. You do what you think you should do. You know what I mean? How many times were you right in crypto? Guarantee you, everybody is wrong most of the time in their crypto decisions, right? They miss the big ones and they buy the crappy ones. Most of the time, you're missing the good ones and you're buying the crappy ones. Most of the time. Like maybe if you're a prodigy or you only stick to like the safest of investments or blue chip investments or something. Most of the time, everybody's choosing the wrong ones and we're all just trying to find the right one. And we're gambling. People try to pretend like you're not gambling. You're gambling. Whether the team's doxed or not, you're gambling. Does it appear more safe when they're doxed? Yes. Does that mean it's not a rug pull? No. There have been tons of teams that dox and then rug pull. So it's your decision based off of that. Does it appear to be risky? Yeah, it does. But the more I personally looked at it and the information that I got, was that I think that they are trustworthy, that Shibtoshi is trustworthy. Now, I'm not sure when it comes to the holders and who's going to sell. And Shibtoshi apparently had somebody in the very beginning who sold. So somebody on the team did sell in the beginning and they had to like get rid of that guy. But just because a project dumps, does a pump and dump or rugs, doesn't mean, and I'm not saying this is going to, I'm just saying if a project does rug or pump and dumps, doesn't mean that you don't have potential to make a lot of money off of it. SafeMoon did a huge pump and dump, right? People could have made a ton of money off of that by buying before and selling, or even a little bit of profit if you bought and it went up a little bit more and you sold. So, you know what I mean? To treat everything like it has to just go to the moon and be doxed and be stable, it's just not, that's not real. Even stocks in the real world with real things are constantly going up and down and up and down. So it's just, you're just gambling, you know? But I'm all open for you deciding for yourself what convinces you it's a good investment or not. I hold some Squid Grow on Bitmart. Should I stake it? I've never staked crypto before. Like, if you're holding long term, you want to stake, and there's no cost to stake your Squid Grow. But so you can stake and unstake, and you're getting like a good APY. So I actually wanted to stake mine, but it was like giving me issues. And I also ran into issues with selling Squid Grow because I was a little worried about not being able to sell. But I got it to go through. It was having this error K value on PancakeSwap. I think it's easy to sell in other places, but when you try to sell on PancakeSwap, you can run into this issue where you get the error K, which, yes, that is also concerning. And I hope that they address that. And I'll definitely bring that up to Shibtoshi when I talk to him. That, hey, you know, whatever's causing the error K, if you guys can fix that so that people can sell when they want to sell. Because if that error happens, I don't know the way around it. I think you just put a bunch of zeros or something. You know how PancakeSwap is. It's always like the slippage, and then you have to change different settings and mess with the fractions and all that stuff. Add a couple zeros or a 1, 2, 3 at the end to get it to go through. So yeah, hopefully he gets back to me and we have a good talk, and I can maybe put out some videos on Squid Grow. The value of an NFT depends on what the holder of the token can do with it. For example, most sports NFT represents physical assets that can be used to gain entry to in an event, receive a discount or merchandise, or even an all-star signed jersey. Huh. Is this more promotions for Luna Sky? It is. That's cool. So... All right, guys, I think we covered quite a lot of news. We covered the $200 million hack. We covered Reflex. We covered Squid Grow. We covered SafeMoon. We covered the TriFlex pre-sale. A lot of information out there for you guys. And if anything crazy happens, I'll go live. But thanks for hanging out, guys. Mitch Bromwell, thanks for being here, man. I'll definitely check out your YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next video or the next stream. You guys have a good one.